Good morning, and welcome to Cooking with Carla. So today we're going to make Brownie Delight, or better than sex cake, lucky if there's any left, brownie style. Um, First thing we're going to do is gather all of our ingredients. You're going to need your favorite brownie mix, or any brownie mix, the one cheapest that you can get, or your favorite, either way. If you want any add-ins for that, chocolate chips would be great, whatever you like. Nuts. You need two cream cheese, room temperature, a big Cool whip topping, frozen, thawed, two packages of instant chocolate pudding, or I got 4 of the pre-made puddings just to make it a little bit easier. Anything easier, we'll take it. So you need all the stuff to make your brownies. I've got my eggs, I've got my oil, and we're gonna need some powdered sugar. So those are all of the things that we're going to need. And follow the directions for your brownie mix. And I'll meet you back here to finish it up. Alright, so I've tapped out all of the flour as much as I could. Left a small mess. And there might be, like I said, there still might be a little bit more than I even needed of the oil. So, but it's great. That looks perfect. And it should come out wonderful. Now we're gonna just, like I said, go ahead and bake our brownies according to whatever your instructions are on the brownie mix that you purchased, and bake them according to whatever the pan size is. I like this for what we're doing. I like the large 13 by 8, I believe that is. I think it'd be perfect. If you wanted it thicker, you could do an 8 by 8, I suppose. In fact, that's what this calls for, an 8 by 8, but this is a 13 by 8, and that's what we're using today. So go ahead and get those brownies baked. So I just put my brownies in the oven, and I was checking the directions to see if they had a 13 by 9 instructions on here. They do not have the heating instructions, the cooking instructions for the 13 by 9 pan. They only have the 8 by 8. So what I'm going to do is the 8 by 8, of course, is going to be smaller, so they'll be thicker, and that you would definitely have to cook longer than something that's going to be thinner, because we used a bigger pan. Our brownies are not, they're going to be about half as thick as an 8 by 8 pan. So they want like 40 to 43 minutes for the 8 by 8. So we're going to start at 25 minutes checking our brownies and using a toothpick to check for dryness. And I'm going to set my timer for 25 minutes and go get the dishes done while I'm waiting for those brownies to bake and cool. And we'll be back for the fun part. Okay, so my timer just went off for my brownies at the 25-minute mark, and I'm going to check them now. And if you don't know what you're looking for when you check with a toothpick, I'm going to try to help you with that. So I've got experience. I'm going to kind of give you a little bit of background while we're doing this. I got over 30 years of restaurant experience. I've done everything in restaurant, from managing to bartending to serving to dish tank. I've done it all except for own. Yet. Hopefully one day I'll have a B&B. That's my retirement goal, is to have a bed and breakfast. Something like one that I work at, which is another one of my credentials. I was a breakfast chef at a beautiful Scottish inn with cottages for about a year and a half. One of the best jobs I ever had. It was just peaceful and beautiful. And okay, so we've checked it, and this is obviously not done. It's lots of batter still on there. Like I said, the directions said 45 minutes for an 8 by 8. So that's why I just kind of went in half, because we're using twice as big. But so now we know 25 minutes is not long enough. I'm going to go ahead and say, by looking at that, I'm going to guess at probably another 10 minutes. Alexa, set a timer for 10 minutes. And I'll see you all back. Oh, you know what? We'll get back to my credentials. So, yes, while I was the breakfast chef at the bed and breakfast that I worked at. I was blessed to work with a fantastic chef and sous chef that taught me some easy tips and tricks that I want to share with you. One of my favorites is chicken. I'm gonna probably be doing that or my chocolate chip cookies next, but probably be the chicken. It is the easiest, best way to fix a boneless chicken breast that I have ever found. And I raised three kids, and my kids were nearly raised by the time I had that job, and I was dumbfounded and wish I had known this technique a long time ago. So I can't wait to share that one with you. So yeah, I did that for a while. I have gotten out of the restaurant business and I work with the developmentally disabled now, and that is probably my second favorite job after that breakfast chef job. I absolutely adore the people that I work with. It's like the whole world has given up on them and not given them a fair shake, and it is at the world's lost. they lose out by not knowing these incredible, wonderful people. So that's a little bit about me. We're waiting for these brownies to finish, and we're gonna have to wait for them to completely cool before we do anything else with them, and I probably won't be back before then, so we'll see you soon. All right, so our brownies are out of the oven and they are cooling in front of the door, and we are going to start with our cream cheese filling that we're going to put in there. I also wanted to mention there are some add-ins that you can also, some other add-ins for your brownies. A great thing to use instead of water when you're making a box brownie, you could use cold coffee. That adds a lot of flavor. That's something I learned from one of the awesome pastry chefs I got to work with. And let's see, some other add-ins you could add here. Some candy pieces. I'm going to top it with pecans. It's just a classic recipe. There's 2 cream cheeses, 2 blocks of cream cheese. But yeah, like I said, I'm going to top mine classically with chopped pecans. And you can use whatever you think sounds good, or it doesn't have to have anything, because they're going to be great. If you're not a nut person and you don't need the extra candy, and just leave it the way it is. Something else I thought of is you could make this as a Christmas dish to bring for the holidays by just adding maybe some Christmas peppermint sprinkles over the top. That'd be really pretty. And you made it Christmassy. I've made a banana split cake for Christmas before and used red and green maraschino cherries. Even though it's traditionally a summer dish, everyone was pleasantly surprised to have banana split cake at Christmas time. And the green and red maraschino cherries just poof made it Christmassy. So there's lots of different things that you can do to make it your own. That's my point. So do that. Do what makes it your own, what you and your family love. And it'll be perfect every time. Just do it with love. Here's our second cream cheese. You want this at room temperature. It's chilled, it just won't mix well. This is probably still just a little too cool. I'm gonna cut it out for a while. You're gonna have it out for at least a half an hour. At least a half an hour room temperature. An hour is probably better. Just so that it mixes well. Cream cheese is so good, and so many things. I'm hoping that maybe if I do well with these videos, maybe I can get some of these couple of the awesome chefs that I've worked with to come and help me out and show me some things that I never quite got right by them that I loved with their recipes. For instance, Chef Hunt's prime rib. Oh, prime rib Friday and Saturday night, and then he would turn it into whatever was left. He would turn it into stroganoff for our lunch buffet that weekend. Oh, if I could get him to come here and do that for us, I think everybody will thank me. been years since I had it, but it's one of those things that has definitely stayed with me and will always stay with me. It's fantastic. He did a couple other things really well too. He had the best Alfredo I've ever had, so maybe we can get him to help us with Alfredo. And what was the other? Sambuca. I wasn't a huge fan because I don't really like black licorice, but he makes the Sambuca sauce, and he used to serve it with scallops, and it was very popular. So if I was a black licorice person, I'm sure that would be at the top of my list, but I'm not, so it isn't. All right, we've got our 2 blocks of cream cheese, 2 cups of powdered sugar, and we are going to blend those. I like to take my mixer and just kind of mix things before I turn it on a little bit. Keep that powder from flying so much. And when I do start my mixer, I'm gonna kind of just do it in little bursts to try it. Like I said, we're gonna attempt to not have this powdered sugar fly everywhere. But I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to do it. Here we go. If you can just get it all just a little wet with the cream cheese, then it's not so likely to go flying on you. At you. I think we're safe. We can kind of turn the mixer up just a little more. There we go. So it's getting clumped up on here pretty bad. So I'm just going to lift my mixer just a little, keeping it in the bowl. It's going to get all that was all stuck on there. See, it's just a little bit too much on my beater. So if I just pull it out a little away from the clump, it'll all come off of the top of my beaters without me having to stop it and scrape. It'll just come off. You need to do that every now and then. Careful, practice makes perfect. Keeping it in the bowl. Alright, that's beautiful. And we're going to fold the Cool Whip into here, so we don't need these beaters anymore. We're just going to go ahead and get rid of them. If you got kids around, you might not want to shake everything off your beaters so much, because they will enjoy them very much. I always loved giving my kids and my grandkids the beaters. I don't know why it tastes better off of the beaters, but it is. All right. Now we need our 1 cup again. My cup. One cup. There it is. 1 cup. Like I said, I got the cheap stuff. I just don't think after you mix all these together, you can go wrong. I mean, there's times when I do only use the name brand things because it seems to make a difference, but this isn't one of them. And 2. And I've got a bigger container. No, actually I didn't. It said 16 ounces. And you need 2 parts. So 2 cups is going to go in right now. And the rest is going to go on top when it's finished. And you can't put any of this on that brownie until it is completely cooled. 100% completely cooled. If it's warm at all, this stuff is just going to melt and it's going to be a mess. So just take the time. Let it cool. I know it's hard to wait. I'm just going to take this butter knife to use it to fold this in. And use a spatula. Butter knife's going to work just fine. I'll probably end up grabbing a spatula. Might as well go ahead and do that. Okay. Those flavors together are already pretty incredible. Now when you're folding, you're literally folding. Just fold it right over and keep folding it over until it's all mixed in. And the reason that you fold it instead of mix it is you want to keep the air in there. You want to keep it fluffy. So by folding it, you can do that. You can keep the air that you just beat into all that cream cheese and the air that was beaten into that Cool Whip before it got to you. You can keep it in there if you fold it gently. If there's any kitchen tricks that you would like for me to show you that maybe I've learned along the way, like clarifying butter, hollandaise. I can make a hollandaise. I make a pretty awesome hollandaise. Let me know. I've been told that my chocolate chip cookies are the best. They are the best recipe that I have ever found. That I can tell you. I'm not sure if they're the best, but they're the best recipe that I've ever found. And can't wait to share that one with you. All right, so we are folded and we are beautiful because it all just looks like one thing. You can tell the difference before you start. It's because it's gonna you'll see the yellowish color of the cream cheese and then the white of the Cool Whip. So this is ready to go. But I'm not sure our brownies are. No. Brownies still have a little time to cool, so we're gonna have to wait on that. We'll just let this chill in the refrigerator while we let the brownies finish cooling. If you have room in your refrigerator for a quick chill or something like that, you can do that, but I would probably put maybe a towel or something over the top. Something that's not going to touch the brownies. So, but it's best to just be patient and wait and let them cool on their own. And we'll be back. And we're back. So I did go ahead and, after it cooled most of the way, I went ahead and put a lid on and put it in the refrigerator to help it finish cooling because it sure does take a long time. And I had our cream cheese topping in the refrigerator as well to keep it from getting too warm. And now it's time for the fun part. Go ahead and give this another turn because it starts to stiffen up a little bit. You want it to be very workable when you put it on there because you don't want to tear your brownies. You want it to smooth over very easily. evenly. Evenly push that around. Try to get it in one stroke if you can. Again, to try to not tear up your brownies. So I just put a big dollop right in the center and spread it evenly from side to side. And then we'll go back and forth. And I put the towel on here to keep the pan from sliding around on my wire rack. Just a wire cooling rack under here, or a space maker for your cabinets. Multi-use. We want to see our pretty layers. How do we get done here? And it's also going to help keep it a little more even. This corner looks a little uneven. There we go. Beautiful. It really is beautiful. All right, beautiful. Normally I would just put that right in my mouth, but I'm going to still use it, so I'm not going to do that. I just need to get that out of there. Okay. That would have been horrible. All right, we're going to need that for this, so we'll just go there. And I had told you it would be 2 packages of instant pudding, but it's not. It's only 1. So, but I did not want to make the pudding. These are cheap. They're delicious. I used to have them for breakfast in high school. The same brand. They had them at our school store. And yeah, at least it was breakfast. I thought at least it's dairy, right? So I'm gonna just use 4 of these and see if that should be enough for a nice layer of chocolate pudding on here. And I'm just using that bowl that I had the cream cheese mix in. It's sitting there and it's a perfect spot for all my trash, so I don't have to keep moving it. I don't have to make a mess everywhere. Really easy cleanup. All right, so I used 6 of those little cups to make the toppings evenly cover over here. And same technique. I went back and forth, and then back and forth the other direction. Just even, try to make even Steven. Hi Steven, if you're watching. Michigan. It's my son's name. Didn't mean to go there, but here we are. All right. Oh, it looks good. Looks so good. And I just want to try to clean up these sides a little bit. Because you eat first with your eyes. Everything tastes better if it looks pretty. Tell you. The paper towel was clean, I promise. I only used it for cream cheese. All right. Not like you care, because you're not going to be eating this anyways. Not mine. What you do at your house is your business. Okay. Okay. And now Cool Whip. All right. Yeah. I definitely did. I definitely did. So, right. There it is. That's it. And the pecans. We got our chopped pecans. I'm very new at this. I hope I get do well at editing. And you're going to use about a half a cup of chopped pecans. Unless you have a nut allergy, I mean, you could always, like I said, get creative. Dried cherries would be good. Chocolate chips, of course, always good. Maybe some peanut butter chips or butterscotch. Heath pieces, oh yeah, definitely Heath pieces. You can buy bags of broken Heath pieces. Those are great on just brownies. All right. We're going to let it chill before we cut it. So everything can kind of set up together and stay together once we cut it. But that's it. There it is. Chill, cut, enjoy.